Let me try to teach you the Shreedharacharya's rule of completing the square for solving a quadratic equation and finding its roots. Now you have the standard form of the quadratic equation as ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now the first thing you need to do is you divide the left hand side and the right hand side by a. Where did you get the a? A is the coefficient of x squared. Now when you divide, you put everything under a, under a, under a, even 0 under a. So a and this a cancels, so you get x squared. This remains the same, this remains the same, and this becomes a 0 again. Now when you transpose c by a to the right hand side, you get x squared plus a by bx is equal to minus c by a. Taking b by a as the coefficient of x, because here you have b by a as x, so that's the coefficient of x, you add half of that coefficient of x and square it, half of b by a whole thing square. You add this to both the left hand side and the right hand side. On doing that, you get x squared plus b by ax plus half into b by a whole thing square is equal to minus c by a plus half into b by a whole thing square. So this will give you a result of x squared plus b by ax plus b squared, and 2a whole thing square will be 4a squared is equal to minus c by a plus b squared upon 4a squared. Now you break this up as 4 into a and 4a also 4 into a, which means that since these are fractions, addition of fractions, the LCM of the left hand side denominating LCM is 4 into a, and similarly on the right hand side the same. Now when you divide, if you divide 1, because x squared is upon 1 with 4a, you get 4a, 1 with 4a squared, you get 4a squared. So that's why if you multiply this 4a squared with x squared, you'll get 4a squared x squared. And then this one, only a and a cancels, so you have 4a into b will become 4ab with that x there, plus this remains the same as these denominators are the same. Similarly, this one is 4a squared into, 4a, sorry, a and a cancels, so 4a into c will be minus 4ac plus 4a squared, and here's 4a squared, so that's why you have the same as b squared. Now, you see that this is the denominator, this is the denominator, so they cancel. And now you have 4a squared x squared plus 4abx plus b squared is equal to b squared minus 4ac. By factorizing the left hand side, we get 4a squared x squared becomes 2ax whole thing squared plus 4abx plus b squared is equal to b squared minus 4ac, which then becomes, if you split the middle term here, it becomes twice ab. So this is a squared plus twice ab plus b squared when you use the special product. So it's equal to b squared minus 4ac, which then becomes 2ax plus b whole thing squared is equal to b squared minus 4ac, applying the special product of a plus b whole thing squared. Now you get this. So if you remove the square, then ultimately this becomes, you have to look for the square root of this. Since we do not know whether it would be plus or minus, so we assume that it is either plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. So now this implies that 2ax will be equal to b transposes and becomes minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac, which imply x is equal to minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac root upon 2a. This 2a comes down here. So now you'll see you have a minus b with a plus minus the discriminant b squared minus 4ac. So you will either have one root which is minus b plus b squared minus 4ac, or another root will be minus b minus b squared minus 4ac upon 2a. Now let's see if this works out in completing the square on a simple quadratic equation that we see here. X squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Since we have to divide everything by the coefficient of x squared or by a, so we divide it. Of course, you'll get the same result since this is 1. You will get another kind of formulation if you have any number greater than 1 here on x squared. So here you have again x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. As the same way that you had taken minus c upon a to the right hand side, you take plus 6 to the right hand side, it becomes minus 6. So x squared plus 5x is equal to minus 6. Now you need to add the coefficient of x, which means half of b by a whole thing square. Now the coefficient of x here is 5. So we need to add that half of 5 whole thing square to both the left and the right hand side. So on doing that, we have x squared plus 5x plus half of 5 whole thing square is equal to 6 plus half of 5 whole thing square. So here you'll get x squared plus 5x, 5 into 5 is 25, 2 2s are 4. Similarly, minus 6 plus the same thing. So here, if you notice, when you get the LCM of this one and this one, it is 4 and 4. So here you add using this LCM, so you will get 4x squared, 4 5s are 20x, and since same denominators are there, you put 25 there. And similarly, this one will be 4 into minus 6 is minus 24, and 25 remains the same because of the same denominator. Now this and this are denominators, and they obviously will divide, so this cancels and this cancels, becoming 1 each. So we put 1 there and 1 there. Now what happens is, on factorizing the left hand side, you get 2x whole thing square plus twice of 2x and 5 plus 5 square, which implies that we are using the formula a plus b whole thing square is equal to a square plus twice ab plus b square is equal to, then here you see minus 24 plus 25 is equal to 1. So now you have 2x plus 5 whole thing square is equal to 1. You remove the square, then ultimately this becomes a plus minus the square root of 1, the root of 1. So x is equal to minus 5 plus minus the square root of 1 is 1, and this 2 comes down upon 2. So either x is equal to minus 5 plus 1, minus 5 plus 1, that is, upon 2, which becomes minus 4 upon 2, which is equal to minus 2. And x is equal to minus 5 minus 1 upon 2. 2 negatives give you a negative again, minus 6 divided by 2, which is equal to minus 3. So here your answer is x is either x is equal to minus 2 or x is equal to minus 3. Thank you so much for your time, and please subscribe to my channel as well as like the sum, and for notification please hit the bell icon. Thank you.